From WLWT, this is Issues.
Hello, welcome to Issues. I'm Jan-Michele Lemon Kearney of SESH Communications and the Cincinnati Herald. Happy Black History Month. We celebrate all year long, but this is our special month. So a little later, we have so much to talk about. A little later, Michael Bobo is going to interview Jacqueline Convington and Tuskegee Airman Leslie Edwards about a special project that Jacqueline has going on in Avondale. You don't want to miss that. Also, we have Mayor Dwight Tillery here to talk about the Black Agenda of Cincinnati and a really exciting person that the Black Agenda is bringing to Cincinnati. You never want to miss Mayor Tillery. Always something exciting happening with him. But first, here's the question. If you had a choice of jail or education, which one would you choose? And we have two people here who have a project in the schools asking students that very question. So let me introduce Candice Tolbert.
Hi.
And you are the founder of Supersedes.
Yes, I am.
And Major Charmaine McGuffy, who runs the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
So welcome. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you.
So, okay, so tell me about Supersedes, Candice.
Well, Supersedes came about as a result of my son. He was suspended from St. Gabriel Consolidated School for playing a staring game. And as a result of that, I began to look at what is happening in our schools as it relates to school suspensions and the effect that it is having on our children. So what we would do is...
So we should say, in defense of your son, it was kind of a crazy situation where he really hadn't done anything wrong and was accused of doing something he hadn't even done and got suspended for that. So,
yes, he did.
And everybody was, that was last year, wasn't it? Or was it 2 years ago?
It was about 2 years ago.
2 years ago, because everybody was really upset about that. So anyway, and you were a great advocate.
Thank you. So Tommy Lewis and I, who is the executive director of Supersedes, and I'm the director of Supersedes, we came together, and what we do is we go to the schools to provide an alternative resource for school discipline with a focus on development, which means what we are asking the schools to do, instead of suspending a child from school, we're asking them to give them maybe 5 detentions. When they go to detention, my nonprofit Supersedes will come into the room and we'll teach leadership, de-escalation, conflict resolution, financial literacy even.
Wow.
That's one part of the program.
What a great idea. I love this idea. You know, instead of just sending a child home to do nothing,
right,
you're actually helping them, educating them, and helping them get back into school and kind of redirect their energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so as a result of that, for kids that are having more issues in school, we've developed an Options Day program with the collaboration of Major McGuffy and the jail. And what that day looks...
Day. So, okay, so the options are jail and education. Tell us about that. Major McGuffy, tell us about the kids coming to the jail.
Well, the program that we fashioned is for the kids to come into the jail, meet some of our officers. And we have typically the same officers who will run the program each time the kids come in.
Okay.
And then we hand select prisoners, because this is not a scared straight program.
Okay.
We don't want to scare children. We want children to build meaningful relationships with us, amongst each other, and we want them to understand what choices are. And you know, we hand select prisoners, inmates, to come down and do a bit of a panel discussion, if you will, with the kids, and they tell the kids, you know, and they're prisoners who've expressed to us, I'd like to help these kids not make the same choice I did. And they're there for that reason, and they talk about the hardships of coming to jail. They talk about the choices that they wish they had made better choices. And you know, they're very meaningful discussions with the kids.
That is wonderful.
And you know, we do a follow-up too, because the children write essays about their experience, which then gives us the feedback of what they're seeing and what they're hearing.
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
you know, and it kind of works both ways too, because the prisoners get something meaningful out of it.
Oh yeah, I would think so too. They must feel really, you know, honored and respected.
Absolutely.
You know, and the fact that they're really trying to make a difference in a child's life. I mean, that's wonderful.
Right.
Yes.
So that's great. So then the next part of that, so that's the jail option, and then you show them the education option.
Right, so that's in the morning.
Okay.
And then in the afternoon, we take them up to the University of Cincinnati, and there we show them the pathway to success for education, how they can get there. And so we show them all the different careers that is coming out of this organization, but we need you to focus on education in order for that to happen. So the kids really love going on the tour. Everybody loves to go see the sports and what's happening up there at UC.
Right.
And so it really does have an impact. So at the end of the day, we presented two choices. Your behavior could take you down either path. and you are the determinant factor on which path that you will take.
So what's the feedback you're getting? I know Major McGuffy said that they've written essays, and are they saying anything? What kinds of feedback are you getting?
The feedback has been very instrumental. Some of them are saying, I want to go back and tell my other friends so that they don't come here. I'm going to focus and do better on school. One of the comments—
That's what we want to hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to bridge the relationship with law enforcement as well. So some of the comments are, wow, I thought cops were bad, but now I realize they are not.
That is great. Yeah.
That's a big thing for us too.
Okay, so how do students get involved in this? You're in several public schools, right?
Correct.
How do people get involved? Any phone number to call? Or?
They can call 513-543-4275.
You have to tell us twice. Oh, and Jeff has it up on the screen. Supersedes program.
513-543-4275.
So can individuals get their children involved, or does it have to be through a school?
Absolutely. We're going to be opening it up in the summertime. We have dates set aside for the community. So if parents have children that they want to take through the program, they just have to give us a call. We do have a waiting list, but we will try to get every young person through if the parents consent.
You know, I'm just so pleased with this. You know, thank you both of you for doing this for our kids. And I just love the fact that you took a negative situation and turned it into something positive.
Yes.
You said, I'm going to get out here and advocate and help these kids who are being suspended and just like tossed out of school, which is crazy. They need to be in school.
Yes.
So I love that. Thank you so much. You'll have to come back soon. Thank you both of you for coming.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stick with us. Michael will be here to talk to Tuskegee Airman Leslie Edwards and Jacqueline Convington.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Bobo, and I'm so excited to be in the presence of a living hero, Mr. Leslie Edwards, a documented original Tuskegee Airman, and Miss Jacqueline Convington. How are you all today?
Fine.
Nice.
Thank you so much for being here. So, Mr. Edwards, you actually speak about your role, the role of the Tuskegee Airmen within the community. You go to a lot of places and talk about their role in World War II. Give us a little information about their role, the Tuskegee Airmen's role in World War II.
Many people are aware of people singing, "We shall overcome." The Tuskegee Airmen did overcome. And this is just one example of how Tuskegee Airmen overcame. And they overcame something in addition to defeating the enemy in combat. We was dealing with a segregation and a situation where back during that time, even in the military, the segregation and the separation and the denial of people to respect one another was our way of life in America. And we overcame that ugly situation. And this particular fellow right here, see, Herb, he was flying bombers. Everybody flying bombers was white, see. But when they got in trouble and they needed escorts, they found out that the military found out that there were blacks who was excellent pilots in combat, fighter pilots, and they asked them to protect those bombers. And when they protected those bombers, Herb, the guys in the bombers, they didn't know that the red tails who were protecting them were black, see. And
they just knew that they had to help.
But they knew they got back alive because those blacks were given protection, see. But at the same time, that segregation was still there. That not respecting the person because they were black and not associating with a person because they're black. That was the way, see. And Herb, who lived here in Cincinnati, later on he found out, after the war, he found out that those red tails were black, and he had a chance to meet some. And that's where she come in. Yeah.
Okay.
How they met. Yeah. Well, they met, and when they met, he made it his business to meet him. Because when he found out they was black, he said, I got to meet him, and I got to show him some love. And he did. And from then on, that's one of the best friendship stories that are ever told.
And tell us about this picture here.
Yeah.
And who those two people are at the top.
Yeah, see, there you see John Lear. John Lear passed away, and he's a fighter pilot. He's holding a fighter plane, P-51. And Herb, he's a bomber pilot, a B-17. And just like you see there, John is protecting Herb. And Herb was so proud that John and him became the very best of friends. And back there, you see where they're making it known how friendship is important, because at one time, Herb would not acknowledge John because John was black. At one time, that friendship wasn't acceptable in Cincinnati. A white person wouldn't acknowledge friendship with blacks in Cincinnati. But they overcome that. And they went around Hamilton County, Butler County, Clearmont County, making it known how wonderful life was when you acknowledge friendship.
Okay. And this friendship has led to doing something at the North Avondale Montessori School, correct?
Correct.
And Jacqueline, give us a little information about what's going on over there.
I'd like to quickly add that Mr. Hilbrand is still alive. He's 96 years old, the bomber pilot, since Mr. Edwards did mention that Mr. Lear died in 2015. Because of Mr. Edwards' dedication to the Tuskegee Airmen and their accomplishments as far as the racial divide goes, he wanted to do something to North Avondale School. So I had meetings with the school principal, Roger Lewis. We had a meeting with the Cincinnati Public School Board and superintendent, who approved. What we're going to do is put a 6-foot bench in, a memorial bench. It'll have a black granite top with a picture of each gentleman on it, and it'll be on a 6-foot wide base so that you can walk around it. So we're taking donations. It's going to cost a little under $5,000 to put this bench and courtyard in, and we have a 501c3 account set up through Fifth Third through the North Avondale Montessori School Foundation. And what you can do is send a check. It's addressed to the NAMS Foundation, North Avondale Montessori School Foundation. In the memo of your check or money order, please put Lear Hilbrand Project. The envelope should be mailed directly to the NAMS Foundation, care of the school, 615 Clinton Springs Avenue, Cincinnati, 45225.
Okay.
And if you have any additional questions, you can call 513-729-1744.
Okay, give us that number one more time for people that may not have heard
513-729-1744.
And that's the NAMS Foundation.
No, it'll come to me.
Okay.
So I'll address the questions and direct them there.
Okay.
I have a contact.
Perfect. You were going to say something else, Mr. Edwards?
Well, we're concerned about their families, knowing they're honored for what they did and what bringing friendship and making people know how beautiful life is when you honor and celebrate friendship. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you both for being here today. We hope that the project is a great success. It's great to have friendship. Yeah, and today we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to a Black History moment right now. Thank you very much for being here.
WLWT celebrates moments in Cincinnati Black history.
Robert Duncanson, born free in New York, came to Cincinnati in 1841. After exposure to landscape paintings at the city's Western Art Union, Duncanson shifted his focus from portraits and became the best landscape painter in the West. Duncanson painted 8 murals on display in the Belmont Mansion, known today as the Taft Museum of Art.
Welcome back. Well, I'm really excited to present to you Mayor Dwight Tillery, who has not been on this show for quite some time, but you've been really busy.
Very busy.
So welcome.
Thank you.
So
good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to see you. So back in June, you put a call out for the Black Agenda of Cincinnati, and we had almost 2,000 people at Woodward High School early on Saturday morning. It was really phenomenal.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I think that people want to do something. They just needed somebody to step out and get it rolling.
And that somebody was you.
And so, yeah, I was trying to retire, you know, stay out of all the fray.
That's not going to happen.
You know, and I've had my hands full with the health gap, and which is an interesting set of politics that we have to talk about health politics another time. But it's very different.
And we should tell people to stay tuned for the health fair that's coming up in April.
That's right. April 29th
April 29th,
at Washington Park, as always.
Okay.
But
getting back to the Black
agenda.
Agenda.
So out of the Black Agenda, we the notion is, or the concept is that this is like an umbrella organization of various different organizations that come together. It's a collaborative effort.
Right.
And so we have a number of committees, and we try to share information about what's going on and what the issues are in our community and how can we come together to begin to address the issues that we're facing. And one of the issues, obviously, Jan, is that we have been in a situation where we seem powerless. You know, we don't really make decisions. There are always decisions that are being made on us.
Right, on us and for us,
yes,
not by us.
Yes, and they bring all kinds of levies and things that we want our votes, but we never know what's in it for us.
Right.
And so it's really taking charge. It's about Black leadership, and we welcome whites in a supportive role, but we're leading this movement, and this is what it is. And so one of the very critical pieces is power. How do you get power? And what we don't always appreciate in the Black community is the power of the vote. It is absolute critical for us to understand that. And as a consequence, your husband, Senator Kearney, helped us to get Senator Nina Turner.
Oh, love her. She is so fantastic.
She's brilliant, and I've watched her on CNN, and she's a regular contributor.
Right.
But I like her dignity. I like her standing her ground, and I like the way she does not abandon her people.
Right.
You know, this is one of the great challenges I see in the upcoming election with Black candidates. You cannot expect Black people to come out and support you if you don't speak to their interests.
Right.
Not behind closed doors, but you've got to speak publicly if you want to bring the Black community out.
Right.
So it's very critical. We live in a city where it depends on who you listen to, but we're at least 50% of the population. That's huge. When in the 1990s, when I was on city council, we had 4 Blacks. 4, and that was in the mid-90s. Here we are in 2016, and we still have 4.
And that's ridiculous.
And we're facing the possibility of losing those 2 seats in this upcoming election. But that's where the decisions are made. It takes 5 votes to make those decisions. 5 votes control $1 billion in how that money has been spent. And we have not gotten our fair share. So we're excited about Senator Turner coming to really rally the community, to help the community understand that the vote is precious.
Let me ask you, Mayor Tillery, why do you think we're having such a struggle getting souls to the polls? Why are we having such a struggle with that?
Well, I think because there's been such a huge disconnect between what city government does and what we get. And we don't get anything, and so people are very frustrated. Unfortunately, we can elect Black politicians, but they don't always do what they need to do. And sometimes it's not just the white politician that takes the Black community for granted, but we also have Black politicians that take the Black community for granted. And that's not just here, but it's all the way up to the Congressional Black Caucus.
So we've got to hold people accountable.
That's right.
But we do need to be involved because if we don't vote, we're not having a say.
That's right. We need to know what our issues are.
Right.
And when people come into our community, we have to do more than allow them to just come into the church and take a selfie or show up at a nightclub in some jeans and think that they have our vote.
Right.
We need to put concrete issues out and say, where do you stand?
Right.
We need to reward our friends and punish our enemies. We have to understand.
I love that. Reward our friends and punish our enemies.
That's right.
That's strong.
Yeah.
That's strong language.
But it's the real deal.
Yeah.
What's playing out nationally?
Yeah.
You know, say what you will about Trump, but he's true to the people who elected him, like it or not. And so we have to understand how this works. We're the only group of people where everybody knows that we give our votes. without asking anything in return.
Oh, yeah,
that absolutely has to stop.
Got to stop.
You know.
Right. Got to demand something in return. Okay.
Yes.
Now, so Nina Turner is coming on
February the 18th.
February 18th.
At
Okay.
New Vision Church
New
on
Vision
Reading
United
Road.
Methodist Church on
Right.
Reading Road. It's 4400 Reading Road. There's her picture up there.
Yes.
And it's
free.
open to the
Open
public.
to the public.
So folks just need to show up. There it is right
Yeah.
there. Mayor Tillery, do you want to give us that rundown right there?
Yeah, February the 18th, 1 o'clock, New Vision. And it's free and open. And if you want more information, 585-9879.
Now, is that 585-9879 the same number that people can call to reach the Black Agenda of Cincinnati?
Correct. That's
because
correct.
we have all these committees. I mean,
That's
you know,
correct.
you've got media, politics, economics, community, all kinds of committees that people can still join.
Yes.
Okay, so call that number, folks, 585-9879.
That's right.
5859. Thank you, Mayor Tillery.
Right.
We're going to have to run. We've got a Black History Moment. You have to come back.
All right, absolutely.
All right. Okay.
I got a lot to say.
You've got a lot to say, and thank
I'm
you.
on fire.
Thank you for your work.
We're getting
You
ready
are.
to turn this city upside down.
All right, okay. We're going to bring him back, don't worry. Stick with us. We have a Black History Moment before some community events.
WLWT celebrates moments in Cincinnati Black history.
King Records started in 1943 by Sid Nathan. King gave the world bluegrass, R&B, rock and roll, doo-wop, country, soul, and funk. It also had an African-American label, most notably Federal Records, which launched the career of singer James Brown. The mixing of the country and R&B sides became one of the most successful features of the label. King was one of the first integrated industries in Cincinnati.
Here we've got Michael Bobo with some community events.
First up, we have Glorifying the Lions, the Urban League of Greater Cincinnati, 68th annual meeting, Friday, February 10th, 11 a.m. at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, located at 151 West 5th Street. Tickets are $65. For more information, call 281-9955. Next up is the Daddy-Daughter Dinner Dance, Saturday, February 11th. Cincinnati Herald's Daddy-Daughter Dinner Dance from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Duke Energy Convention Center. Tickets are $5 for daughters, $15 for dads. For more information, call 961-3331. Last up, we have Top Ladies of Distinction Community Sweethearts Gala, Saturday, February 11th, 5:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Sharonville Convention Center. Tickets are $65. For more information, call 919-9100. We also have Explore Nature Summer Day Camps, voted the best of the city, starting at $50. Go to CincinnatiParks.com for more information.
That is great. Thank you to Michael. All right. Happy Black History Month. Stay safe and stay positive.